Welcome to the stock workout where we flex on the market to make gains. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Bionanogenomics, ticker symbol BNGO. Now, this has been a hot stock lately. It's had a very good run up, and the main question is this going to have a short squeeze? So we're going to take a look at some of the short interest on this. I'll run over a quick article, just pointing out what Wall Street thinks about this stock, and then we're going to take a look at the charts. So for those of you who don't know, Bionanogenomics is a science company that has a Sapphire device that is a genome sequencing and analysis device. Now they've been rolling this out and selling it. They did have good revenue numbers come out last month. I think they've currently sold it to the NHS in the UK, and they've sold it to a university over in Canada as well. So that's just a bit of information about Bionanogenomics. This is also a company, and this genome sequencing sort of area is something that Kathy Wood and your ARC are very interested in, and think this is going to be the future, because these types of devices allow companies and allow hospitals really to identify any diseases or potential diseases. And as we know, DNA and genome sequencing is not something that we as people fully understand yet. And I can vouch for that, being having worked in the science industry. But anyway, that's a bit of information about bionanogenomics. So let's take a look at the news just to start off with. We'll just get that out of the way. So this is an article from the Motley Fool. It says three top Robinhood stocks Wall Street thinks will soar 25% or more. Now, the first one's Apple. I'm not going to read that. Amazon. And the third one is Bionanogenomics. So it says here you might be at least a little surprised by the third top Robinhood stock on our list that Wall Street really likes. The average price target for BNGO is a whopping 80% higher than the stock's current price. Bionano reported better than expected Q1 results in May. Revenue jumped 179% year over year to a record high of $3.2 million. Although the company remained unprofitable, its bottom line moved in the right direction. Customers appeared to like Bionano's Sapphire genome mapping system. As the install base grows, the company's recurring revenue from consumables grows. That's the kind of business model that investors hope could really pay off over the long run. So Bionano projects that it will have 150 Sapphire systems in the field by the end of this year, up 50% from the end of 2020. The company also anticipates receiving accreditation for additional laboratory developed tests for Sapphire soon. Bionano is riskier than Apple or Amazon, but analysts think it could be a huge winner over the near term. Riskier because it is a much smaller company than both Apple and Amazon. But a lot of people are banking on the fact that this is the future. This is the future of healthcare, and it will give humans and people a much better standard of healthcare, because you'll be able to identify problems before they could come into effect. It's pretty amazing things what they've done, to be honest. So what next? Short interest. Let's take a look at a bit of short interest. So I want to start off with over here on Fintel. So as you can see, BNGO up here. Um, and if we go down a little bit, short volume, right? Now the short volume on Friday was 15.06. So that was the total volume of short. So the total volume for the day was this much here, 29.90 in millions, and the short volume was 4.5 million. So that gives a short volume ratio of 15.06. But if you look at the previous days, you got 13.06, 13.03, 13.23, and before that it was 12.97 and 9.91. So in the last sort of week or so, that short volume has been increasing. Now, previously, before then, look, you can see down here on the 24th of May, it was 16.86. But in the last week or so, that short volume has been increasing, and that's what has got people's attention. Because now, if we switch over to Finviz over here, so this is Finviz. As you can see, BNGO, the short float is coming in at 13.22%. 13.22% is what has got people's attention, and this is where people are thinking that there could be a potential short squeeze here. Now that is slightly high. BNGO has been shorted quite a lot, in my opinion, um, unnecessarily as well. But that short flow is higher than the average short float. The average short float, I think, is around 5%, for a stock. So it is slightly higher. Um, and this is where, investors are hoping for a short squeeze on this, which I think is quite possible. So then there's this article over here, and it says BNGO stock Wall Street bets is betting big on a short squeeze for Bionano. So it pretty much says the same thing here. Shares of BNGO stock closed the day 9% higher as volatility continued to pick up among various speculative stocks. I don't like the fact that they're saying this is a speculative stock. This is a legit awesome stock. But then if we go further down, so this is a short squeeze speculation. It says in the case of Bionano, the percentage of this company's shares sold short sits at a silver above 13%. Indeed, that's high, but question remains as to whether this percentage is high enough for the apes, as they affectionately call themselves, to orchestrate an effective short squeeze. Typical companies with short interest ratios around 20% higher are better targets. However, in this day and age, enough attention given to one specific stock could drive the price up to a level where others feel enticed to take the other side of the trade. Such a scenario could result in self-fulfilling prophecy where this company's short volume ratio goes up. That remains to be seen. So what I'll do is I'll leave the link to these articles in the description down below. Yeah, so as we've already covered, 13.22% is the short float for this, and the short interest has been increasing over the last week or so. So where does that leave us for the stock? So if we go back to Friday, this is the hourly chart I've got up, and immediately I can see that on that Friday we had a flag formation. And we had a flag formation. So here's the pole here. Here's the price coming back down and forming the flag. And then we had a breakout again. And after hours we closed at $7.12. So we closed market when market closed it was $6.87, up 9.05% for the day. And in the after hours we ran up higher again. But, and here's the but, RSI is sat at 67 right now. So when we were at the peak over here, RSI went into the overbought territory. So with RSI, anything over 70 is overbought, anything under 30 is oversold. So RSI went into the overbought territory, and we saw a decline of the price. That's pretty normal, but that flag formed, and now we have seen the price increase again, but the RSI is sat at 67. So if that RSI drops again, we may see that price come down slightly a little bit more. But with the short float being higher than usual, and when I say usual, I mean by higher than the average, you might see this squeeze and you might see a huge run up really fast. In that case, even if the RSI goes into the overbought territory, it's because the bears are buying back all the shares that they've shorted. So that is something that potentially could happen, and I do believe a short squeeze may be on the way for this, given if it has enough attention. So on this chart here, I've got the hourly chart up. I've got the 21-day EMA, the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. I've got the volume and RSI on the screen. Now, first thing first, volume. 29 million, so 29.9 million, so just under 30 million. The average volume in the last 10 days was of 16.9 million, so it's reaching double. It's nearly double its average 10-day volume, and that was on this Friday here. A lot of interest with this short squeeze potentially on the horizon. Market cap sat at 1.9 billion. Now, what has this stock been doing? So this stock it is in an uptrend. It's in an uptrend right now. If you see it from here, it's in an uptrend. Um, so back here on the 14th of May, so a couple of weeks ago, that 21-day EMA crossed over that 50-day moving average and that 100-day moving average. And then a week or so later, on the 26th of May, it crossed over that 200-day moving average as well. So from this point here, you can even see the price is around $5.63, and after hours now is $7.12. So what's that coming to? Just under a 50%, 40, 50% gains from there. That is an indication that 21-day EMA crossing over that 200-day moving average as well as the 50 and 100-day moving averages, that is a bullish indicator. Now the bulls are in control right now, and you can see the run up of this price. That's a bullish indicator right there. That's one thing that has that light bulb moment in my mind that this is where the bulls are taking control. So overall, this is in bullish territory at the moment. Look, you can see here, if I zoom out, previously that price has been running down, it's been running down. It had a peak up here. What was the peak? It was here at around $5, $15, sorry, $15.65. And it was in a downtrend. It has broken out of that downtrend. It's broken out of that downtrend maybe a couple of weeks ago. However, now with that short squeeze interest, where does that leave us? So from a chart perspective, we are going to see resistance here. This is a point back in April that we failed to break out of. That's around $7.80. So what I'll do is I'll just mark that on the chart here. $7.82 I've marked. That was a previous level of resistance. That was a point that we were unable to break out from, and the price broke down. So that is currently where we may see resistance again. So do keep an eye out for that price point. If we get rejected from there, then the next level of support is coming back down here, basically at about $4.30. We do have a light level of support here as well at around $5.14. But with that short interest being higher than an average stock short interest, I really think that this could potentially have a squeeze given it has enough volume. So couple of things to keep an eye out on is that volume. Make sure that volume is high, and make sure that we do break through this $7.82 price point, and then from there on out, we could see even bigger gains going upwards. But even on that last day, we had huge run up 9%, and we had a flag formation. Now after hours timings cut it off, but yeah, we finished up at $7.12. Now I've pulled up the 5 minute chart, and as you can see on the 5 minute chart, this is this nice, perfect flag formation right here. This is the pole here, pole of the flag, huge run up, and then this is the consolidation of price, and we had another breakout in the after hours where the price literally went from around this, what would it have been over here, about $6.84, and it finished up at $7.12. So that was a perfect flag formation and a breakout, but we need to see what happens next. So RSI was a bit all over the place. It was in overbought territory here at the peak at around 80. Then it dropped quite low to around 30, 31, and that was probably here where it bottomed out. And then it picked up again. And in the after hours, when the price hit around $7.20, we were back in overbought territory. So it has been, a little bit erratic, I should say. But with that short interest, if them shorts buy back their shares, and they actually do get squeezed, this RSI is going to go quite high. Volume will pick up, so keep an eye out on the volume first of all, then keep an eye out on the RSI, because even if it does go into the overbought territory, but shorts are buying back their shares, that's nothing to worry about too much. I would continue to hold, and this is a perfect one to swing if you want to swing it, just for a few days, maybe a day or two, or maybe even it might even take a week. But once them shorts are squeezed, you might see nice gains. I know a lot of people are in this for the long term. BNGO is a brilliant company in my opinion, and they do have game-changing technology. So that is something good to see, that the company does have strong fundamentals as well. So there you have it. I pointed out a couple of things for you guys. I've pointed out the resistance level as well on this 5 minute chart. I think the resistance level is quite much higher here at $7.82. So that is our first resistance level. That was a point previously where we were unable to break out from. So do look to see that we do break out of that level over there. In my opinion, short squeeze is totally possible. Over 13% short float with increased volume, this could potentially squeeze. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you appreciate that, drop us a like, hit that subscribe button so I can keep bringing you more content, and I'll see you on the next one.